Levante is putting pressure on Éder. Despite a €30 million offer accepted by the club, the Cameroonian striker rejected CSKA Moscow. In response, the management decided to sanction the player by placing him on the bench last Wednesday against Villarreal. Here is the Champions League Team of the Week. Vinicius Jr.'s performances in recent matches indicate that he is progressively rediscovering his former form. Real Madrid have qualified for the next round of European competitions in 37 out of 39 cases after winning the first leg away. Exceptions: Ajax, 2019, and Odense, 1995. Saudi Arabia is preparing a €40 million offer for Marc Casado. Julian Alvarez is closer to extending his contract at Atlético Madrid than joining another club. Julian Alvarez's entourage informed Barcelona. Julian Alvarez costs €200 million. Julian Alvarez is FC Barcelona's priority for this summer. Lamine Yamal is the FC Barcelona player who has created the most goal-scoring opportunities this season with 92 chances. Eric Garcia: here, you have to live with the pressure and you have to win. When things go wrong, people try to blame us, but I have always remained calm. Journalist: new signings. Joan Laporta: I don't think that is a subject we should focus on now. Our project is based on Hansi Flick and Deco, on La Masia, and on the players who have adapted to the La Masia philosophy. Journalist: the refereeing. Joan Laporta: we cannot do anything more, the club has sent an appropriate official letter, and the only solution is to respond on the pitch. Journalist: the 1C license. Joan Laporta: we want the City Council to grant us the license. I hope we can get it before the Copa del Rey second leg against Atletico, because we need the fans. That is what we want. But if not, I am sure the other members who have their seats will find a way to create a great atmosphere at the stadium. FC Barcelona is considering selling its own brand of jerseys. Nottingham Forest wants to sign Ansu Fati this summer and is ready to offer Barca around €15 million for him. Eric Garcia: we would all like to concede fewer goals, but those we have conceded in La Liga don't seem shocking to me. Our opponents know us. The important thing is to understand why they create so many chances. Maybe we lose the ball too much and that penalizes us. The most important thing is to regain control of the ball. We need to find a balance, knowing when to attack quickly and when not to. Choosing the right moments to play more calmly and trying to close the spaces behind our opponents. We wanted to discuss the matches against Atlético de Madrid and Girona FC in the locker room. When you lose 2 matches, everything takes on more importance, it's logical. Those were 2 important encounters. The discussion was positive, everyone came out satisfied. I still think we will get back into the game against Atletico. If we score early, we can make them suffer. We also talked about refereeing decisions. There are situations over which we have no influence, such as decisions by the referees and VAR. In those 2 matches, the decisions did not go in our favor. Victor Font: although they tell us they saved Barca, the reality is quite different. It has been 5 years since they have been able to register players in the men's first team, and they are hoping Ter Stegen gets injured so they can register Joan Garcia. Manchester United recruitment director Christopher Vivell suggested Alejandro Balde, but the fullback wants to stay at FC Barcelona. Marcus Rashford met with young players from the Barca Academy in New York at the Ciutat Esportiva. Pedri is expected to be included in the squad against Levante and should receive medical clearance this Sunday. He will not start the match but could get a few minutes at the end to regain rhythm. Pedri could also return to the starting 11 against Villarreal at the Camp Nou. Javier Tebas: it is clear that Barca did not pay the referees, as some have tried to make people believe. Waltermaid would like to leave Newcastle at the end of the season due to a lack of playing time. Levante has lost 16 consecutive away matches in La Liga against Barcelona. Gareth Bale: there was a moment in football that changed my view of rivalry. While I was suffering from a chronic muscle injury that had handicapped me since the beginning of my career, I received an unexpected message from the Real Madrid fitness coach. He told me, "Leo is asking about your condition and wants to help you." And then? A personal call from Messi's doctor, who offered me a proven treatment protocol and shared the rehabilitation exercises that Messi himself had used in 2013. He also recommended a specialized clinic in Barcelona where many footballers go for treatment. This situation taught me that true professionalism transcends teams and their colors, and that greatness is measured by what you bring to others, even your rivals. Messi is a person first and a legend second. At a time when many perceive the rivalry between Real Madrid and Barcelona as a war, Messi reminded us that football is a beautiful sport. Sometimes, goals are not necessary, humanity is enough. Barcelona has contacted supporters groups to ensure their presence at the match against Atletico. Eric Garcia has the highest number of minutes played at FC Barcelona this season, 2,937 minutes. Flick had a long conversation with his group yesterday. The German, very self-critical after the defeat at Girona, talked for an hour with the players before training began. After 2 days off, the coach focused on refining things and maintaining a prolonged dialogue with the dressing room after the 2 consecutive losses. This is a climax in the season where it is necessary to react and return to the key points of the style that provided such great moments last season: intense pressing, no turnovers in dangerous areas, order on the defensive line, and tactical positioning. Vlahovic is making Barça his priority. The Juventus striker wants to join the Catalan club as a free agent. He is waiting for a sign from Barça to become Lewandowski's successor. The club is studying the option, especially regarding the 1:1 rule. Other profiles are also being monitored. Xavi Villajoana does not see signing Harry Kane as impossible. Taking care of our La Masia players has been my top priority, but we will always need the ability to attract elite talent. We can achieve this by ending the financial chaos and returning to the 1:1 rule. Journalist: who would you like to take a photo with? Cubarsí, with Messi. Journalist: a dream I wish to achieve. Cubarsí, playing in a final against Messi. Journalist: you are a member of Barça. Will you vote in the next elections? Cubarsí: I haven't made a decision on that yet, and I don't think it really concerns me. What happened at the Wanda Metropolitano and Montilivi stadiums is deeply worrying, both because of the offensive failures and the fragility of the defensive system. Regarding the poor finishing, there is not much Flick can do. No one is going to teach Lewandowski or Rafinha how to shoot better. But faced with the ease with which opponents create dangerous chances against Barcelona, the coach must intervene. If Flick does not want to abandon his style of play and maintain his high defensive line, he must urge his players to press the opponent's playmakers more and track back faster in the defensive phase. If some players are playing too slowly, they must be benched to give others a chance. Sometimes, enthusiasm and motivation are worth more than exceptional talent if it is accompanied by annoying laziness. Barça announces that the 14,000 new seats in the North Stand, Phase 1C, will be 100% reserved for members, socios. Return scheduled for early March. Expected prices, between €160 and €264. Members will be able to apply in the coming days. Marcos Senesi free this summer. The 28-year-old defender is waiting for a concrete sign from Barça before responding to other clubs. Thierry Henry: Barcelona needs a real number 9. A top-level striker. I'm talking about clinical goalscorers like Victor Osimhen, Erling Haaland, or Harry Kane. Proven finishers, not prospects. When you have a talent like Lamine Yamal making those kinds of passes for you, you have to score. It's simple. At this level, one chance is enough. I've seen matches where too many chances were wasted. At Barcelona, that cannot happen. That is what makes the difference between being competitive and being champions. Joan Laporta: Messi deserves a statue and a tribute match, which we are ready to organize whenever he wants. It would be great, given everything he brought to Barça, and I want to emphasize that Barça brought a lot to him as well. He is under contract with his current club until 2028. Journalist: what is your message to the fans? Cubarsí: we want them with us. We will fight until the end to try to win back the Champions League and every possible title. Let's all celebrate an exceptional season. Journalist: what kind of match is needed to reach the final? Cubarsí: we will follow the coach's instructions and the game plan, and we will execute them with the greatest commitment and enthusiasm possible. Journalist: and the defeat at Girona? Cubarsí: we must improve. We cannot concede 2 goals like that. We played badly and were weak in all areas of the game. We need to question ourselves and react. Journalist: coming back from 4-0 seems almost impossible. Do you believe in it? Pau Cubarsí: we are a group that has already proven it believes in the remontada and is capable of achieving it. We will try again with all our might, with the support of our fans who never abandon us. Journalist: what is your explanation for what happened at the Metropolitano? Cubarsí: I think they started the first half with very high intensity, and scoring an early goal disrupted our plans. From that moment on, it became very difficult for us to be the dominant team. Journalist: do you know why your goal was disallowed and why VAR took 7 minutes? Cubarsí: honestly, no. All I know is that the 10-minute interruption broke our good start to the second half. That goal would have given us a real chance to get back into the game. Journalist: playing on the right or the left? Pau Cubarsí: I feel comfortable on both sides, maybe a bit more on the right because it allows for more vertical passes, but I am ready to play wherever the coach puts me. Journalist: great offensive strength but goals conceded. Pau Cubarsí: the defense likes to keep a clean sheet, but the attacking players help a lot with the pressing. We might concede, but we are capable of coming back and winning. Journalist: the very high defensive line, a risk? Pau Cubarsí: from the outside, it might look risky, but we believe in this idea because it has worked before. Sometimes we adjust certain details, and that is completely normal. Journalist: can you win the Champions League with this level of risk-taking? Pau Cubarsí: if everyone is not connected, it cannot work. But in the big games, we are at maximum concentration to support the coach's philosophy. This summer, the club cannot afford big signings like Julian Alvarez. It will be very difficult for FC Barcelona to carry out a transaction of this scale this summer. Barca must regain their composure despite the anger caused by refereeing decisions. The objective must be to rediscover performance and personality. Here are Enzo Fernandez's statistics against those of Dominic Szoboszlai in the Premier League this season. Romeo Lavia is expected to play tomorrow with Chelsea U21s against Leeds in hopes of being available for the match against Arsenal. Chelsea and Tottenham have shown interest in Bayern defender Kim Min-jae. Adding an experienced centre-back could be a priority for Chelsea this summer. Here are the most goals plus assists in the Premier League this season. Liam Rüdiger on the racism incident involving Vinicius: it's upsetting. There is a context that needs to be taken into account in this situation. Any form of racism in society, and even more so in football, is unacceptable. I cannot speak about an incident for which an investigation is ongoing. When you see Vinicius so upset, there is usually a reason. I have been a victim of racial slurs myself. People need to understand that when you are judged on something you should be proud of, it is the worst feeling. Liam Rüdiger on Mourinho's comments about the incident: I don't think it's a manager-to-manager issue, to be honest. Again, it's context. No matter how a player celebrates, race should never be brought into it. I don't know the context of what Jose said, so I'm not going to judge. If a player or coach is ever found guilty of racism, they shouldn't be in football. It's as simple as that. Liam Rüdiger on Cucurella's injury: I can't give a specific time frame for Mark. He suffered a hamstring injury. It's a real shame because he is one of the best left backs in the world. We have Joral and Malo who can step in for him. Liam Rüdiger on the competitiveness of the Premier League: I don't think it's just complacency. I thought Wolves were exceptional yesterday. It's such a strong league now. What we have to do is focus on our own performance and prepare well. Whether we play against Wolves, Burnley, Manchester City, or Arsenal, our process is the same. Estevao on Santos and João Pedro: those two have been an essential part of my journey here. They have been fundamental to my development so far. I would say we've been pretty inseparable. Without them, I'm sure it would have been much harder to adapt. So, I'm really grateful. João Pedro has scored 10 goals and provided for assists in the Premier League. That is better than the 10 goals and 2 assists of Ekitike. Ekitike cost €80 million, João Pedro €60 million. It could be that in December, I feel like retiring. I don't know what the future holds for me. Neymar spoke about his future. I live day by day. This year is crucial, not only for Santos but also for the Brazilian national team and for me. I am happy and relieved to have come back a little stronger than before. Obviously, I need to find a bit more rhythm, but it is with perseverance that I will reach 100%. I'm taking it step by step. It will be my instinct that decides the future. One day at a time. UEFA is ready to support FIFA's proposal to expand the Club World Cup to 48 teams for 2029. The objective is to guarantee the participation of more major European clubs after the failure of Barça, Liverpool, and Manchester United to qualify. Incredible! German midfielder Christoph Kramer has forgotten the only trophy won in his career. 0 titles at club level. Only one major trophy, the 2014 World Cup. But he doesn't even remember it. A starter in the final against Argentina, he suffered a massive knockout in the 17th minute. As a victim of a concussion, that entire half is erased from his memory according to doctors. He therefore won the greatest trophy in the world but forgot it. FIFA is committed to raising $75 million for the reconstruction of sports infrastructure in Gaza. This was announced by Donald Trump during the Peace Council in Washington. The president of the Argentine Football Association, Kike Tapia, has been banned from leaving the country due to a money laundering and tax evasion scandal involving $19 billion. He is due to appear in court on March 5. Moroccan prosecutors have requested up to 2 years in prison for 18 Senegalese supporters detained in Morocco since the final. They deliberately wanted to disrupt the smooth running of the match and committed acts of violence broadcast live on television channels, said the public prosecutor's representative. The fans were prosecuted for hooliganism. Bukayo Saka extends his long-term contract with Arsenal. He becomes the highest-paid Gunners player with a salary of €343,000 per week, more than €18 million per year. Anthony Gordon is voted Champions League Player of the Week. 8 goal contributions in 7 Champions League matches for Victor Osimhen this season. 5 goal contributions in 4 starts for Ademola Lookman with Atlético Madrid. Journalist, do you think the refereeing is penalizing you in any way? Dani Olmo, I always say that football is a game of errors, and in this area, it's not going in our favor. But as I said, I don't see that as an excuse. Referees can make mistakes, just as they can make the right decisions. If we convert our chances and play as we should, we will win. In the end, everything depends on us. We created chances and had the opportunity to take the lead, but we didn't exploit them. So I think, in the end, the feeling is that it depends more on us. Journalist, fragile player. Dani Olmo, I don't agree with that. I have suffered injuries as a result of direct contact. These are things you can't control, they are knocks that are part of the sport. I don't like being given that label because I don't consider myself a fragile or frequently injured player. It doesn't worry me, I focus on what I have to do. Kylian Mbappé is the player with the most goal contributions in the Champions League since the 2021-2022 season. Atlético Madrid claims to be interested in Ederson for a transfer. He is one of the good players we are following, confirmed Matteo Olemoni, the club's sporting director. PSG has paid for the remaining €6 million to Kylian Mbappé. The club had been ordered to pay €60.9 million to its former striker, including €55 million corresponding to unpaid salaries and bonuses and approximately €6 million in paid leave and interest. Nasri Vinicius Jr is whistled at, he scores a superb goal and he can celebrate. Mourinho did laps of the pitch running. Once he slid on his knees for 20 meters, he thought he was Thierry Henry while celebrating. You don't have the right to say that. La Liga has obtained a court ruling forcing NordVPN and Proton VPN to block Cloudflare IP addresses during league matches in order to prevent fans from accessing pirate streams. The problem is that Cloudflare handles approximately 20 to 25% of global internet traffic. As a result, many users in Spain have encountered difficulties accessing perfectly legal sites, such as those of their banks, social networks, or even online restaurant menus. Atlético Madrid has failed to keep a clean sheet in its last 9 Champions League matches. This is the club's worst streak in the history of the competition. Coke, we need our supporters, as was the case the other day against FC Barcelona. When we are all united, especially at home, we are a formidable opponent. Real Madrid is preparing to sign Aimar Garcia, an 18-year-old central defender from Atlético Madrid. He is considered one of the most promising centre-backs in the Atletico Youth Academy. Rashford has joined collective training with the rest of the Barça group. Militão's return is scheduled for April. Rüdiger is at 100%. He feels strong, confident, and capable of being a starter. Since his return, Real Madrid has conceded only 1 goal. FIFA members have confirmed they will discuss the proposal to create the Prestiani law. According to this idea, players could be sanctioned if they deliberately cover their mouths while insulting opponents on the pitch. Atlético Madrid has not won an away match in the knockout stage of the Champions League since March 2022 against Manchester United, 1-0. Journalist, the criticism regarding the style of play. Dani Olmo, we are not going to change our style, it is with this style that we have won 4 titles, but we know what needs to be improved. PSG claims to have settled all amounts requested by Kylian Mbappé. The club from the capital is surprised that the player and his advisors are ignoring the difference between net salary and gross salary. PSG would like Mbappé to waive the requirement to publish the judgment on the club's website. As a reminder, the full judgment must be displayed on the homepage for 1 month. Carlo Ancelotti confirms the extension of his contract with Brazil. I plan to renew my contract with Brazil for 4 years. It's a new position and I like it very much, said Ancelotti. A defeat for N'Golo Kanté's return with Fenerbahce. Igor Jesus scored a goal and provided an assist. Morgan Gibbs-White scored the goal for 3-0 for Nottingham Forest during this first leg playoff. UEFA sanctions OM after their match against Club Brugge. UEFA sanctioned the club due to the use of fireworks by its supporters. The sanctions, the ban on Marseille supporters travelling to the next away European match, with 1 match suspended. OM is fined €25,000. The wives of Patrice Evra and Yohan Caballé spied on at their homes. Sandra Evra, it was extremely worrying. I went through an ordeal. I am truly relieved. 2 young men have just been arrested by the Departmental Judicial Police Service for criminal association in view of the preparation of organized gang robbery, with a video surveillance system targeting their various homes and beacons placed under Sandra Evra's cars. It hurts a lot. The truth is that I am mentally exhausted. Philippe Coutinho explains why he asked to terminate his contract with Vasco da Gama. To be judged by countless people for something that has nothing to do with my personality is extremely difficult. I would never disrespect the fans, my teammates, or Vasco. I have never done it anywhere. Everyone who knows me knows that. At that moment, while heading to the locker rooms, I felt and understood that my adventure at the club was over and I did not return to take care of my mental health. I have always been very discreet, so talking about this here is not easy, but I must be honest. My relationship with Vasco is a relationship of love. And it will remain so forever. It is with a heavy heart that I understand it is time to take a step back and close this chapter at Vasco. Habib Bey makes no secret of it, Rennes progressed thanks to him. When I took over Rennes, they were 16th in League 1, innovations were secondary, we had to be pragmatic. Rennes was 6th when we left, so there was progress. At OM, we will be in the analysis of what we can do tactically because we have a quality of players that allows us to do that. Alexander Isak is expected to be recovered and back at the end of March. He could play an important role at the end of the season. PSG is preparing to release a new jersey with Jordan for the month of March. The Otay stand is suspended for 2 full matches. sanctioned for acts that took place during the Classique, massive use of pyrotechnic devices, use of a laser pointer, and verbal and visual expressions noted leading to a temporary interruption of the match. PSG is also fined €10,000. Journalist, a comeback against Atlético Madrid. Gerard Martin, we have confidence in turning the situation around. If anyone can do it, it's us. We will go there to achieve a comeback. Journalist, you are playing now at the number 8 position. Dani Olmo, it's a position where I can play. I feel more comfortable a bit higher as a number 10, but if the team needs me, I will play in that position. Journalist, the UEFA Champions League. Dani Olmo, it will be difficult and many things will have to change. We are Barcelona and we want to play and win everything, and that is what we will do. Last season, we were very close, but that motivates us to come back and try to win, and we want to prove that we are capable of it. Kylian Alvarez, Zidane? His way of managing groups and the confidence he transmits to players are very rare. I have had very good coaches, but with Zidane, beyond the respect and admiration we all held for him, his way of communicating and treating players was incredible. We couldn't afford to give less than 200% in training to counter his style of play. Furthermore, tactically, he was excellent. He studied our opponents well and gave us the necessary tools to win.